You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
It's Fins Up Friday, and we're bringing in week 5 with a bounce-back performance to get things back on track. After underperforming in Buffalo, Miami will host the New York Giants in Miami Gardens, Florida, and look to improve their records to 4-1. Quietly, there's a belief that this Giants vs Dolphins game can get quite messy, and Go Time Dolphins is here for it. It's Miami v New York, Dolphins v Giants. Fins up, Fin fans. Now back to Charlie and Kadeem.
It's week 5. Miami Dolphins, New York Giants. Time to get back on schedule. Back to Victory Mondays. Back to putting the league on notice. And because of that, obviously back to Go Time Dolphins on Fins Up Friday. Mr. Charlie Touche, how are you?
Bro, the podcast is just better when your sister does the intro, bro. It's just like I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's just better when she does the intro. And this, just in case Sherrod Steve is watching right now, because I was just texting Sherrod Steve, bro. You don't want the smoke, bro. Just come on the podcast, come get the smoke, and we could handle it. Wash your hands of it, and that's it. But don't be in my phone talking all loud and not coming on the podcast. So shout out to Sarah Steve. But yeah, man, this week 5, Dolphins versus Giants, and I can expect this game to get a little messy. But before we go there, Go Time Dolphins got a social media team. We got a team. People do graphics, people do social media, and one of our social media members, our team members, are down bad right now, hospitalized. So shout out to Lonray. Hope you get better. Well wishes. Just wanted to get that to you. But yeah, man. I know I speak for Kadeem when I say it as well. But yeah, man. So prayers going out to Lonray. So anyway, it's week 5, Kadeem. What we looking like?
You know what you said? We are, just podcast is better with Jodane, the voice of the podcast. Always better when the chat's going as well. It's not just us two, everyone's here. So shout out to Hammer, says I'm here first. He says I guess playing hooky from work plays off, fins up fellas. Chubb is still garbage. Shout out to Rob. Good evening, guys. Haven't been able to catch the live streams last couple. And then we have IMAX, says, what's up, Kadeem, Charlie, and chat. Didn't get a notification, just happened to be on YouTube. That's just perfect timing. And then, yeah, IMAX said, what's up, Hammer? And then get well soon, Finn Law. So, yeah, 100%, get well soon, Lonway.
Hey, he said Finlaw. That's what's up, Finlaw. Damn, I like it. Yo, we Finlaws.
Before I delve into anything, do you want to do us the honors?
Honors of what?
The intro.
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond but across the world. I'm your boy Charlie Touche. I got my co-host Kadeem Simmons with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast. And I apologize. I got my mind on the jacuzzi I'm about to get into after this podcast. You know what I'm saying? I'm just ready to jump in. But hey, man. So we got some breaking news that I figured we cover first because we're going to get into week 5. But let's get into the breaking news and then get into week 5 and have an actual episode. The Miami Dolphins are trading a 2025 6th-round pick in exchange for a 2025 7th-round pick and wide receiver Chase Claypool. What did you think when you heard that, Kadeem? Like, is this right?
Um, so before we also delve into that, I'm actually good to see that your pops is getting better. I'm obviously, here for to sending prayers, thoughts, and everything like that. So really glad to hear that. Um, I was out. I was buying my son the new FIFA EA FC 24. Don't know
Your
why they
son don't
changed the
want
name.
your son don't want the smoke either, but go ahead.
Yeah, my son will slap you up, but whatever. So I'm out and I'm walking, checking my phone, and I see a tweet. Um, the Dolphins are trading for Chase Claypool, and literally, honestly, the first thing I thought was, "Well, that's fake news." So nice try, because the Dolphins are not trading. Like the Dolphins are not trading for a wide receiver. Like they just don't need a wide receiver. Click on the account. I'm like, oh snap! This is real. The Dolphins are actually trading for Chase Claypool. So didn't expect it. Send it to the Dolphins UK WhatsApp group. Send it to you. And again, shout out to Simon Kirby from the Dolphin UK podcast because he was like makes no sense. Like everyone in the chat were just like, don't quite get it. But then obviously Lee comes in, 5 yard Lee, and he's like, well, maybe it means that um Easy E and Craycraft 400 aren't returning anytime soon. And the Dolphins are down a wide receiver or two wide receivers and they need the help. And I was like, okay, that does make some sense. And you can kind of see it. It's very low risk, high reward given what you traded away. And if you get something, I think it's like 2.3 million against the cap. But if he gets cut, then you take no dead money. So yeah, I didn't understand it at first. I'm not running around the room going, yes, we got to Chase Claypool. But I can kind of see why they did it if the two wide receivers I mentioned before aren't going to be around for the next few weeks.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Kadeem. I don't hate it. I'm cool with it. I like it actually. Like, yo, this is what buy low means. In fantasy football, when there's a receiver out there that you like, this receiver could do better. And then the owner of the fantasy team is like, yo, I'm done with this dude. Like, yo, just give me a bag of Skittles. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's when I come in and be like, cool, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So this is real life fantasy football. Chase Claypool, and I know this is gonna sound like a reach. I know this is gonna sound like a reach, but I would say challenge me on it. Chase Claypool is arguable. Not, I think he's a two in the NFL, bro. He's not a one. I'm not gonna say he's a one. Oh, we got one receiver. I'm not saying that, but I think he's a legit two. If we went through the NFL teams and seen who their second receiver was, and we said, would you rather this second receiver or would you rather Chase Claypool? I think there's at least 15 teams that he would be the two on. So on average, I think he would be a two. On this team, he's going to be a three. Maybe not even a three. Like in the real world, maybe he would be a three if he came in during the preseason. He would take that Trent Sherfield role. But we have Braxton Berrios. Claypool's coming in late. He's just going to be a body. He's a free agent after this season. How about this? Let's just get right into word on the street is he's not a good teammate. You know what I'm saying? He's bad in the locker room. He's a cancer. He's not a good teammate. There's a lot of stuff off the field. What do you make of all that, Kadeem?
Before I delve into that, obviously some of the comments we had. Hammer says, "Damn Kadeem, I was hoping you would do it this time." Talking about the intro. If Charlie said I'm not doing the intro, like there's just no need for that.
If I
Rob
wasn't here,
says,
you're still not doing the intro. You
"Yeah, I'm
doing
doing the intro.
something,
I'm
but
doing the
it
intro."
wouldn't
Like,
it wouldn't be called the intro, but you'd be
listen,
doing something.
when you're not here, I am the captain. Yeah. If anything, even when you are here, just look. It's like it's Kadeem and Charlie. It's not Charlie and Kadeem. Yeah, it's Kadeem and
Kadeem,
Charlie.
you all right? Let's do the intro right now, Kadeem.
No,
Prove us wrong. Do the
I'm
intro
going through
right now.
comments. I'm going through the comments. Okay. Hammer says, "Does anyone know what Clay said to Tua when he hugged him on the Twitter thing that is going around?" Moya TV says, "Sup everybody." Moya, we've shouted you out on Patreon, just to let us know about your wallpaper. So if you can hit us up on Patreon, then we can get it sent over to you as soon as possible. IMAX says, hope this works out. After last Sunday, I was hoping for an event of a defensive lineman, and we will get into that. He adds, I've heard Craycraft and or EDE could be done for the season, so I understand the trade. IMAX says, I think we need linebackers and Chubby to be put on the bench for AVG. IMAX then says, LBs, linebackers, DBs, and another DL that can take advantage of Wilkins being double teamed. And then, yeah, Hammer agrees, Captain Kadeem. But, yeah, the teammate stuff. I think if I can find it, because I think I retweeted it, but Mike McDaniel kind of addressed it as well. He said, yeah, so Mike McDaniel says the Dolphins are aware of Chase Claypool's reputation around the league, but I see better than I hear in terms of making his own decision on his character. He's given wide receiver a clean slate in Miami. And that's the thing, it's okay, he might have been an issue in other locker rooms, people might not have got along with him, all that kind of stuff. Maybe he's gonna come, but then like I think the Dolphins will look at it and go, listen, if you are gonna be a problem, then you're gone. Like, we're not gonna put up with this. And also, he's gone from being in a 1-3 team who weren't really using him to come into Miami, potentially Super Bowl bound. And yes, you might not get the targets you were getting in Chicago or in Pittsburgh because you got Waddle and Hill. But how can you not want to be positive? And there's also some leaders around. Obviously, Teron Armstead is injured at the moment, but you've got guys like Teron Armstead, guys like Tyreek Hill, and others who be like, yo, like, we can have all the fun in the world here, but understand this is a locker room that we can't really have. And you either fall in line or you're gone. And it's very interesting before I pass it back to you. There was a clip doing the rounds of Stephen A. Smith, and I'm not a Stephen A. Smith fan, don't really listen to what he says, but he kind of like addressed Chase Claypool and kind of said, listen, this has nothing to do with football, but you're gaining a reputation where if you're not careful and this trade doesn't work out and you get kicked from the Dolphins, your NFL career could be done. So, like, essentially do what you need to do to get right and to, let your football do the talking. So him being an alleged bad character, let's see what like in Miami. Sometimes you need a change of scenery to kind of get right.
So I don't like Stephen A. Smith either, but I want to defend Chase Claypool for a second. I never heard he was like he had bad character. I never heard that. I never heard that he was like a problem, quote unquote problem. I always thought it was, and I could be wrong. Maybe there's stuff out there that I didn't hear, but I thought it was he didn't put in effort in every play. He's a diva. He cries for the ball. You know what I'm saying? Complains to the coaches for the ball, stuff like that. I never heard anything Antonio Brown-ish. You know what I'm saying? I never heard anything. Insert any receiver that has off the field problems here. You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard stuff like that. So I've only heard extreme diva stuff about Chase Claypool. And then I've seen extreme diva stuff about Chase Claypool when he was on Pittsburgh. And you said he was on a 1-3 team, but we got to remember he was on a winning team in Pittsburgh. Like, they're a legit organization. So I just remember what I remember the most about Chase Claypool was they were losing, time's running out, and he got a first down and he got up celebrating instead of spotting the ball, trying to run the hurry up offense. He was like doing his little dance. Are you serious, bro? And I'll never forget. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't have a teammate like that. So that's what I remember. And then that's what I thought all of the, this dude is a problem. Like, he's not I shouldn't say problem. He's not what you want as a. So that's what I thought was it. And kind of loud, boy. Your TV kind of loud, Kadeem. But so yeah, so can you hear me, Kadeem?
I can, yeah. For a bit, it was a bit like crackly. That's why I kind of moved my headphones, and no one's turned the TV up, so I don't know if I moved the mic and it's.
Yeah,
I'll try and.
probably, maybe. But hold up. So let me finish on Chase Claypool. So my thing is, yeah, there's truth in you got moved around a couple teams, and maybe you are a diva, maybe you cry for the ball or whatever. I'm not sure, but I do know this, bro, and I'm serious about that. He's a no, he's a two, because dude is nice. The Bears traded a second round pick. That doesn't make him nice, but the Bears traded a second round pick to acquire Chase Claypool and beat out the Packers, who were trying to trade a second round pick to acquire Chase Claypool. So for you to get moved on from that fast says there's something. It's an indictment on you for sure. We don't know what it is yet. Maybe we find out, maybe we never find out, and maybe he has a home and Chris Carter syndrome kicks in where you like Chris Carter, like, dang, bro, it took me all of that to become a Hall of Famer. Not saying Chase Claypool could be a Hall of Famer, but yo, this might be the dang. All right, I'm cool with Tua. You see the rounds and to answer the question in the chat. Like, I don't know what was said in the in the video, but clearly him and Tua have some type of respect for one another. Claypool chased them down after the Pittsburgh game last year. They hugged it up, dapped it up. They looked pretty cordial, like they knew each other already. Or if they didn't, then it was a pretty like respectful exchange. But at the end of the day, Kadeem, if we're just talking football, I'm on Rob's side. I like it. Like, this is a good trade. Imagine trading a pick swap for your 6th round pick. You trade your 6th round pick to a team for their 7th round pick, and they say, hey, by the way, we're gonna give you Chase Claypool. Of course, yeah, you win that all day. So at a minimum, this is super low risk, all reward. No kind of locker room character can mess up this trade. Like, yo, he would be on the first thing smoking because we didn't pay anything for him. So this is super low risk. I think he's a dope talent. I was surprised it didn't work in Chicago because I thought it had Claypool, Mooney, and DJ Moore. I'm like, oh, they building something here. So for them to move on from him, I'm like, dang, that's crazy. All in all, I think this officially gives us the best receiving core in football. If there was a doubt about the Chargers or the Bengals, this officially says you have the best receiving core in football. And again, I say he's a two. If you could look up every team in the NFL, not you, Kadeem, but people listening, if you look up every team in the NFL and tell me who their number 2 is, I would like to take Claypool over 15 of those number 2s. Almost 15 off the top of my head. But go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely think if you can get the Chase Claypool we saw early in Pittsburgh, if you can get that Chase Claypool for next to nothing, then again, it's a no-brainer. I'm not even worried about paying him after this year. It's like, listen, it is what it is. Like, the chances are it's a one and done, or he takes a very low, offer to stay in Miami, and it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Rob says,
and he enters that Trent Schaefer role right off the bat. Like, right off the bat, that's he's the official number 3.
Yeah, 100%. So Rob says when a player isn't performing the easy way out, it's just a question of attitude. Hammer, yeah, if you can hear my TV, I apologize. Hannah Montana and the voice of the podcast are watching the Beckham documentary on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, so far so good, I guess. Rob says, the way I see it, would you get better potential player in the 6th round of a draft than Claypool? Myself and Charlie would. We are excellent drafters in a mock. I'm telling you that now for a fact. And to be fair to the Dolphins, they aren't bad at picking in the later rounds. Like, Chris Greer has a somewhat decent success rate so far of picking in the later rounds of the drafts. And then, yeah, he said he could do some of the poor man's Debo plays that Easy was chipping in with. And I think a lot of people kind of saw that as well, as if to say, they may have found their Debo. But at the same time, what I will say is that the way this offense has been running the past 3 to 4 weeks, don't even need a Debo. Like, you just need to be open down the field, and we will scheme you open and stuff like that. So,
I gotta say this, Kadeem, and I think a couple people in it, and a couple people in the chats, and then this is all over Twitter though. Oh, we should have got an O lineman. Oh, we should have got defense. Oh, and then someone on Twitter was like, oh, leave it to the Dolphins to trade for a cancer receiver when they have the worst defense in the league and needed defensive help. I'm gonna say this like this, and including the O line, because we always been on O line. Here's what I'm saying. We got Chase Claypool for a 6th-round pick. So if anyone out there knows of an O lineman that is as good as Chase Claypool is for a 6th-round pick, that's available for a 6th-round pick, I believe the Dolphins would have did it. But that person doesn't exist. So we can't just conjure up some imaginary player that is if we're playing Madden, an overall 80, you know what I'm saying, on the O line, and then just trade a 6th-round pick for this player. You know what I'm saying? Like, and obviously the equivalent to Chase Claypool in this scenario is him being an overall 80 at receiver. You know what I'm saying? So there's a disgruntled player that's on a rental deal. If there's a disgruntled O lineman out there, or D lineman, or corner, or whatever position you insert here, I'm sure the Dolphins would have did it, but that person's not available. This person is in Chase Claypool for a 6th-round pick, and that's what we got. So yeah, of course, if something presents itself, the Dolphins gonna do their due diligence, but it's not like there's a O lineman or defensive player used car lot. Like, oh, look, I need that one right there. Let me go get him for a 6th-round pick. Like, no, they're going to cost 2nd-round picks and 1st-round picks and 3rd-round picks and money. You know what I'm saying? But this one we got basically for free.
Yeah, I think some people would have been like, well, Teron Armstead just got placed on IR, go and get a left tackle. For 31 of the 32 teams in the NFL, the starting quarterback is right-handed, if I believe. So the left tackle is protecting the quarterback's blind side. So you go to the 31 teams and say, hey, do you mind giving us your blind side quarterback protector for a 6th-round pick? And if they're half decent, the conversation goes like this. End of. Like it's not going to happen. And then people say, you get some defensive line help. Well, again, given how much the Dolphins are paying their defensive line or the DBs and stuff like that, what's adding to it going to do? Like, I'm not even like taking a mick. Say you go and get another DB, well, you still got Jalen Ramsey to come back, so that's kind of pointless in my opinion. Obviously, a lot of us are
20K Cam on ice too, bro. Like, he's there.
Like, a lot of people aren't happy at the moment with Bradley Chubb, but you've also kind of got like, well, you're paying Ogba, you've still got Jalen Phillips, Van Ginkel's still there. Like, you have options. So, and again, I can't imagine the Dolphins don't want to address that. Maybe they want to pick up a linebacker, but are they going to give up a 1st or a 2nd? And you still got to pay the guy. To me, there's so much that don't not take Chase Claypool for a 6th because you're worried about a 1st for someone else. Because like what Rob says, this trade doesn't exactly stop us from going after an O-line or defensive trade before the deadline. The Dolphins all have the picks. Like, this isn't over yet. The trade deadline didn't stop today at 3:00. So yeah. Rob also says that, because realistically for us to improve it would cost more than a 6th. And then Lee Connolly, shout out Lee, says, surely we need personnel for Fangio defense. And again, we probably do need linebackers or maybe another defensive tackle. If those guys are available for a 6th and they're not named Randy Gregory, and I don't even want Randy Gregory, then who knows? But I just think at this stage it's a matter of
I did want Gregory though. Like, I thought that would have been really cool. And I think he comes with worse baggage than Claypool, actually. But
Randy Gregory, American football defensive end. Yeah, I think he's had quite a few off the field issues.
But I'm not going to allege anything, but I thought he did come with some baggage. How about this? How about Chris Greer just telling Mike McDaniel, hey, We just acquired Chase Claypool. Like McDaniel had nothing to do with it. Didn't even know. Like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? You know how tall are you, Kadeem?
5'10".
You 5'10"?
5'10". Yeah.
Dang, I'm 5. You know how tall I am?
Like only like 5'9 3/4".
5'9 3/4. My dog, straight up, and I need my 3/4. So
Yeah.
I just say I'm 5'10". I just say I'm 5'10". But listen, that's the same height as Tyreek Hill. That's the same height as Jalen Waddle. And Braxton Berrios, 5'9", and I think Cedric Wilson is 6 foot. You know how tall Chase Claypool is?
I'm gonna go 6'3".
6'4", 240 pounds.
Just missed.
Dog is a creative player. You know what I'm saying? So now we got that on our side, bro. We could move on about this Chase Claypool thing. I think he's gonna I don't know what he's gonna do in Miami, but I think this is definitely a win of a trade if we're just evaluating the trade by itself for sure. So you just added some height and some muscle on already the best receiving core in the league, and now you just got better. So I think this is pretty dope. Week 5?
100%. And what else is pretty dope? I get say this for the first time, but let's have a word from our sponsor, MyBookie. Guys, we shall see you in a second.
Aaron Rodgers' season is officially over, but yours has just begun at MyBookie. NFL, college ball, and a brand new cash-out system give you options to bet and win all season long. First 2 legs of your Go Time Dolphins Easy Money Patreon parlay hit, cash out early and place another bet, or let it ride for the chance at a bigger payday. Join us at MyBookie for an entire season filled with daily odd boosts, same game parlays, and huge prize pool contests. Right now, MyBookie has a no strings attached cash bonus that lets you deposit and withdraw quicker than QB1 Tua Tagovailoa's ability to get the ball out of his hands. Use promo code GOTIME on your first deposit of $50 or more, and you can receive up to $200 in cash instantly credited to your MyBookie account. That's GOTIME to claim your own cash bonus now. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie and only using promo code GOTIME.
I could get used to that.
I like it, bro.
I can definitely get used to that. 100%.
I like it. It felt very organic. It was natural. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to voice of the podcast, Jordan. Thanks for that. She gave us a peace sign. Sign back. But yeah, listen. You haven't really discussed week 5 game against the Giants yet. What's your early thoughts? I guess I don't know even early thoughts. What are your thoughts heading into the game?
I think Jordan said it was a bounce back week, bruh. We might put up 50 again, though. This might be another burger, bruh. This might be bad. We might be taking the spread in easy money this week, man. I don't know, man. Like, listen, and fortunately for us, we sit behind microphones, so we could say all the recklessness, right? But in the locker room, we don't want them to think like this and talk like this. We want them to actually play the game and focus on the game 1 week at a time. A nameless, faceless opponent, go handle business. That's what we want in the locker room. But we're not in the locker room. And Kadeem, this should be a cakewalk, bro. I don't want no foolishness. I don't want it to look like New England where we was winning easily and then kind of lulled ourselves to sleep and then only won by 7. Yo, I want to go smoke them and be like, nah, bro, that Buffalo loss was not cool, and it's still a sour taste in our mouth, and someone's got to get this. And unfortunately for Buffalo or for the Giants got to get it.
We'll get into when we get to our huddle and you see the injuries on the Giants side of the ball. This is a get right game for the defense. Like, if we don't sack Danny, and his name is just Danny right now, there's no nickel, there's no dime, it's just Danny. And you know what? Mess around and just going to be cool. No, I'm not going to call him Dan, but there's only one Dan in the NFL quarterback. So you don't even, so you don't even get that. You just get that. You're not even that. You're just that. You're not mess around, you're going to get called that. So yeah, listen. As Rob says, Vegas predicting us for 30 points. Like Giants 17.5. This doesn't seem like it's going to be a close game unless the Dolphins make it a close game. And I believe Kevin Harlan is on commentary this weekend. There's some ridiculous stat of when Kevin Harlan commentates on Dolphins games, Tua goes off. I think
He's got him. He's got him. He's got Hill. He's got Waddle. Touchdown.
Let me see if I can quickly find it because it is stupid. Kevin,
I ain't gonna lie. While you look for it, I know the stat. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I seen it. But I'm gonna tell you like this, dog. I'm done with stats, bro. Because that AVG, that Andrew Van Ginkel stat, I'm like, yo, Andrew Van Ginkel played the whole game against the Bills, and that stat did not go in our favor. So it's cool to have these in the stats, but they don't mean nothing too much to me no more.
Oh, of course not. No, but it's just it's very it's a coincidence. Put it this way, it's a coincidence that when Kevin Harlan is on the microphone, But so this is from King of Finland on September 8th, I think it was. So this is from last season. Tua stats when Kevin Harlan was calling the Dolphins last season: 71.4% completion, 957 yards, which was 319 yards per game, 10 touchdowns, 127 QB rate, and a 3-0 record. And then he's done the Chargers game so far this season and the Broncos game. Listen, Kevin Harlan, Tua, whatever it is, it seems to work. But we said this before the Broncos game, and Rob asks it now. Is it a trap? Is this the trap game that we, I guess, said against the Broncos? It shouldn't be. Is us against the Giants on Sunday at Hard Rock Stadium a trap game for Miami?
No, it's not a trap because we got Carolina afterwards. If anything, this is the bounce back that we're going to get right with. And next week would be, I don't even want to call it a trap because, yeah, that's not how traps work. Like this is safe. This is super safe. You lose this game, you're 2014 Miami Dolphins all over again. Like we don't know what we're going to get. We don't know. I don't know. Just let me know. You know what I'm saying? There's no, we're not. You have to go in there, insert dominance, and take over the MVP conversation all over again. Like, well, he played against the Giants. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tua put up X amount of yards, X amount of Tua's getting pulled in the fourth quarter again. That's what I'm expecting in this game. The starters are getting pulled in the fourth quarter. So expect them to run it up early and then pull them, right? That's what I'm expecting. Let's go to the Giants. The Giants in week 1 put up the same amount of points as me and Kadeem did in week 1. 0. They put up no points in week 1, bro.
A donut.
Thanks, Kadeem. In week 3, the Giants put up only 12 more points than what me and Kadeem did in week 3. They only put up 12 points in week 3. Last week, they only put up 3 more points than me and Kadeem put up. Like Kadeem, bro, we can go out there right now and compete against the Giants, bro, and at least make it a game. You know what I'm saying? So, but I will say this. The Giants beat Arizona 31-28. So what you're thinking is, oh, they put up 31 points. Kadeem, they were down 28 zip. 28 zip to Arizona, bro. And they came back in Arizona. But like, listen, man. If your defense doesn't say, nah, bro, this is the game we're going to get right, then your defense is in big trouble, bro. If your defense gives up more than 17 points to the Giants, you got a bigger problem than what you thought you did.
Well, Tua's cousin, shout out to Tua's cousin, he says if Miami defense can't hold Giants to 3 points, then it's a crap game, not a trap. And that's the thing. Like after the Bills put up 48 against us, this defense, I think fans should be like, you know what? We've not even had our fun, but it's been a month now. Let's get dialed in. Friend of the podcast, Brandon Jones, probably your worst tackling game since you've entered the NFL. You kept coming off an injury, so it is what it is. Get right this week. Let's fix this week. I think Deshaun Elliott is back, so I do believe he'll probably get the start. But yeah, you probably have Eli Apple come back in and Katie Kohu back in the slot. But it's very much a case of, Bradley Chubb, go wild. Show us why we paid a first and all that money for you. Van Ginkel, keep doing what you're doing. Christian Wilkins, you want to get paid? Show us why. Zach Sealer, we paid you. Show us why. Jerome Baker, you want to stay here? Show us why. David Long Jr., we just picked you up. Show us why. This is the kind of game where obviously we used to talk about and say, if Tua puts up one touchdown, 180 yards, and the defense goes off, perfect. This is the kind of game where defense go off. Have it so that Tua only puts up 2 touchdowns and 100 yards because you guys have put us in the best field position, pick sixes, all that kind of stuff. So, listen, I'm not nervous. I will be at the Hippodrome because it's the only place to be right now. But I want to be celebrating touchdown after touchdown after touchdown from both sides of the ball. And yeah, don't make it a close game. Have it so in the fourth quarter we can see 20K Cam make his NFL debut if he hasn't made it already. We can see Alama Uluwave if he gets called up. Like that's the hope. That is definitely the hope. As Lee says, tackling made my eyes bleed. D-line being underwhelming. Underwhelming's being generous. D-line's been woeful so far. But again, the Giants is the perfect opportunity to, as Charlie said, re-establish a dominance and it's one of those games where even if we do win, everyone's going to go, well, it's just the Giants, but we'll be 4-1 and looking nice. So it is what it is.
No, we're supposed to do what we're supposed to do against the Giants, though. Like whatever, yeah, they could be just the Giants, but we got to do what we got to do. We got to make them look like just the Giants. You know what I'm saying? Because if we don't, it's going to be like, oh, the Giants almost beat you. Like, bro, that's why I don't be on the internet, bro. Like, I'm for real. But, bro, and I know this isn't easy money. It's not easy money, and we're going to get into no huddle. But you know what? Let's get into no huddle.
You sure you want to get into no huddle?
Hey, I'm about to make my comeback on no huddle, bro.
We'll see. We shall see. So, as we enter no huddle, let us.
Hey, your microphone went out, champ.
Can you still hear me?
I can now.
Brilliant. So we are in no huddle, and as the banner at the bottom of the screen says, Charlie is 1-3. Charlie is 1-3. So we are in Miami on Sunday. I've got the time. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff, right?
Yep.
So Sunday, 1 o'clock. The weather in Celsius is 29 degrees. 29 degrees Celsius in Miami on Sunday. What is that in Fahrenheit?
Dang, bro. This is not easy. 29 times 2 is 58. And if you add 32, it's 90. But I'm not supposed to times it by 2. I'm supposed to times it by 1.8. And that's where my math is real funny because I don't know what 29 times 1.8 is. So we're going to go with 87 degrees Fahrenheit.
What's the leeway on either side?
It's supposed to be plus or minus 1.5.
plus or minus 1.5. And what did you say?
87. So that means I got up to 88.5 and 86.5. So 86.5 to 88.5.
86.5. Okay, cool. Charlie?
Yo.
You're one.
Oh my! Oh man, bro.
It is 85 degrees.
Oh, bro. Do you know how hard it is to time something by 1.8?
There must be an easier way to do this. Seriously, like this can't keep happening. There must be an easier way. This is.
You know what I feel like? These are 1 point losses, like 1 score losses. Like, yo, I lost, but I lost by 1 score. And listen, I missed out by half a point. Listen. I forgot who it was who was in the comments saying, "Yo, I'm counting on you to convert my Celsius to Fahrenheit." Like, yo, just know you can count on me to be in the neighborhood, in the ballpark. Like, at least, be like, yo, if Charlie said it's like 86 degrees Fahrenheit, that means it's around 84 to 87 degrees Fahrenheit. That's it.
So Rob said this is a temperature doink. I'm calling this a temperature on the 5-yard line, one hop in the pass to the open wide receiver in the end zone for a win. That's what it is. That's what that is. But let's get to the injury report. So we know for week 5 that Robert Jones and Nick Needham are out. We also know that obviously Teron Armstead's on IR, so he's not playing. Lester Cotton, Jalen Phillips, and Connor Williams are questionable. Braxton Berrios and Deshaun Elliott were on the injury report, but they should be fine for Sunday. Now, when you get to the Giants, and we mentioned this earlier, Andrew Thomas, the tackle, John Michael Schmitz, the center, and Shane Lemieux, the guard, are all out. So that's 3 of the Giants' offensive linemen are out. Saquon Barkley, Daniel Bellinger are questionable, so there might be no Saquon Barkley, and if there is, he's not 100%. And then it seems that Gary Brightwell, Marcus McKeevan, Aziz Ojulari, Evan Neal, and Wanda Robinson are unspecified, and Mike McFadden is questionable. The Giants could go into this game with 4 of the starting 5 offensive linemen out injured. And if that happens, and there's no Saquon Barkley, it is going to be mental if the Dolphins defense doesn't get right. But that is what I have for No Huddle. Charlie, what have you got for fantasy?
I am starting Tua, starting Jalen Waddle, starting Tyreek Hill, starting Achane and Raheem Mostert, starting the Dolphins defense, starting Jason Sanders, starting anybody on the Dolphins offense with a uniform against the Giants this week. On the other side of the ball, I am only starting Wan'Dale Robinson in fantasy football. That is it. No one else from the Giants gets to start. Matter of fact, Darren Waller. I'm sorry. We're going to start Darren Waller and Wan'Dale Robinson.
So very, very quickly, Wan'Dale Robinson does come up on the injury report with a knee injury, and the game status is unspecified. So he might not even play.
If you don't play, we're not starting him, clearly. Because if Saquon doesn't play, we're not starting Saquon. But Saquon plays, Saquon starts. You spent too much money, too much capital on Saquon to not start him. So if Saquon dresses, he dresses and he starts. Here's my thing about easy money. It changes some things if Saquon is playing. If Saquon is playing, I think I might go to a prop bet, right? If Saquon is not playing, this line was at 1 point 9 points. It's 12 points right now. So if you could find the Dolphins minus 12, that's the easy money bet of the week. We're covering 12 points against the Giants, who might not even put up 10 total points. That's without Saquon though. With Saquon, I wonder how much the Dolphins are gonna wet the bed and upset me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, and Darren Waller, who I happen to have on my team, hasn't done anything for me. I bet you he will show up just to upset me against the Dolphins. Saquon and Darren Waller go off. Daniel Jones,
Who?
Danny, happens to like go off at like 27 fantasy points because he rushed for 100 yards. You know what I'm saying? That'll happen this week. But nah, man, we can't play scared. The easy money bet of the week is the Miami Dolphins covering against the Giants, 12 points. I was gonna go with Waddle over 65 yards receiving. I was gonna go with Waddle over 4.5 receptions. That's plus money right now. I think it's plus 114. But I think it's safe to take the Dolphins easy money bet of the week. We're 3-1 in the easy money bet of the week. Miami Dolphins cover 12 points. By the way, for this game, they got Tua over 2.5 touchdowns. So they watching. They like, all right. Just don't kill us, Tua. You know what I'm saying? So they got him over 2.5 touchdowns. So we won't take the 1.5 because there isn't 1.5 to take. And 2.5, he might not even be there because we might have pulled him by the time the second half comes up.
Thank you very much for that. A few comments. What do we have? I saw Jason Keck arrive. So, yep, shout out to Jason Keck. Rob says that Charlie is temperature tanking. I don't think he's temperature tanking. I just don't think he knows what he's doing.
Hey,
like,
I said I'm gonna make it to the playoffs though. I'm gonna make a run.
You're 1-4. This one better start next week. That's what I'm saying.
I'm making a run.
You said
I'm making the playoffs. Making the playoffs.
Yep. Sure.
Hey, anybody know how to times 1.8? If y'all got you got an equation for me to multiply stuff by 1.8, I'm listening.
I'm sure there's an easy way to do it, but again, I'm not no expert, so yeah. IMAX says what the Dolphins fail to realize is once you drop 70 on the team, the rest of the defenses they face the rest of the season are going to be locked in. So you got to take every team seriously. Rob adds IMAX also dropping 70. IMAX also dropping 70 on the team. We had a big target on our backs. Lee Connolly says Connor Williams is vital. And then Rob says agree Lee because Liam Eichenberg at center was a car crash. Jason says this defense is garbage. I know it's hard to admit, but it is. And then he adds, and it starts with that bleep D line. Chubb, overpaid base of a spot. Phillips, bust. Wilkins, worth nowhere near 20 million. Draft D line like crazy next year. I was completely fine with that until you see Jalen Phillips was a bust. At that point, it's like, I can't.
Jason Keck back. Jason Keck is back.
I can't get on board with Phillips being a bust, but you're entitled to your opinion. And hopefully he's available this week. Hopefully he can get 3 sacks. And yeah, we can discuss this at a later date. But yeah, the Giants, I feel like we played the Giants only a few years ago. And I don't think it was a game. Like Miami Dolphins. Do you remember the result the last time we played the Giants?
Because it was Danny playing?
5th of December 2021.
Dang, Kadeem, look at Kadeem coming.
Oh no, I'm Google. That was all Google.
Yeah, but you remembered it though.
Oh yeah. Two was the starter for the Dolphins, and Danny was not the starter for the Giants. But do you know who was
the starter for the Giants when we played them in 2021? When the Dolphins had a really good defense, 2021 to a second season. All right, let me ask you this: is it a name that I would remember, or is it like if you remember this name, then you're dope that you pull this out the sky?
I think it's a name you would remember. He is.
Hold on. Tyrod Taylor?
No, not Tyrod Taylor.
All right. What's the clue that you was gonna give me?
I'm gonna say he's not with a team right now.
But he's not with a team right now.
But according to Wikipedia, the last team he was with was the Miami Dolphins in 2022.
Somebody was with the Dolphins in 2022 that played against us in 2021.
Yep. Was on the active roster in week 18 against the Jets. That might have given it away.
No, I didn't give it away. So we had Skylar Thompson. We had somebody else. I can't remember the somebody else. Dang.
I will.
Oh, wait. Go ahead. Who you got?
I was going to say, if anyone in the chat can let us know who you think the quarterback is, then cool. And DB says, multiply times 2, then subtract 1 divided by 8. The what? Yeah.
That's oh, Glennon. Mike Glennon. That's tough, bro. It was Mike Glennon for the Giants. That's a tough one though. That was a boy. Hey, Lee Connolly, shout out Lee Connolly, but he had to Google that too, bro. Because Mike Glennon, that's tough.
But yeah, the Dolphins won 20-9. Tua was 30 for 41, 244 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mike Glennon was 23 for 44, 187 yards for 1 interception. The leading rusher for the Dolphins that game was none other than friend of the podcast, Mars Gaskin, 15 carries for 44 yards. And then receiving, Waddle went off for 90 yards off 9 receptions. Parker had 62 yards for 5 receptions. Mike Gesicki, 46 yards for 7 receptions. And the touchdowns were Mac Hollins and Isaiah Ford. Quickly, and as
shout out to Brian Flores for trying to make people think Tua wasn't good.
So there's a bit of a Phillips conversation in the chat. Rob says Phillips ain't a bust. IMAX says Phillips isn't a bust, just needs to stay healthy. And then Jason says, absolutely, unless you consider almost a success, then he's a Pro Bowler. He's a bust because everyone thought he was going to be great. He's average. And Lee says, no, Google, you're welcome. Again.
Hey, oh man, Jason Keck back in the comments is funny. I was laughing at Lee, but Jason Keck back in the comments saying Phillips is a bust. Bro, I think you get like 4 years before you become a bust, though, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Like you get some time before you get considered a bust. Although I still don't think he's a bust, but
yeah. And I think what Lee says is true. Need to see some end product from Phillips. The one thing from Phillips, even in his first 2 years, is like he was getting pressure on the quarterback. He just wasn't finishing off plays. But I still think Phillips, not even just looking at PFF grades and stuff like that, you just watch Phillips play, and it's just that finishing touch. I think of the defensive end the Dolphins had last year and this year, Phillips has been our most consistent pass rusher in terms of getting to the quarterback. And yeah, Phillips is the GOAT of nearly sacks. But Bradley Chubb right now is the GOAT of just doing essentially nothing. And like, same with Ogba. Like, when Ogba's on the field and Phillips is on the field, so Chubb is on the field, they're not really doing much. They're like, yeah.
But I'm saying, if you're going to say Phillips is the GOAT of nearly sacks, that means those are pressures. So he's getting pressures. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's non-existent. Dude is straight, bro. Like, Phillips is straight. Y'all ready to get into bonus time?
Of course I am.
Hey, come on over to bonus time with us. Y'all know what time it is. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. Shout out to our sponsors, MyBookie. Promo code GOTIME. Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive. Test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
I was just looking.
Mike Glennon was tough, bro. That was a
I
hard
don't know.
one.
I don't know. I feel like he was gonna get it though. I thought like, oh yeah, like Mike Glennon. Yeah. Jason says, could it turn around? Sure, don't believe it will. Like the proof will be in the pudding. We will see what happens with Jalen Phillips, whether he can turn those pressures into sacks. But like I said, give me a defensive end who is getting pressure on the quarterback. Because if you're keeping a quarterback, off center, have him scrambling, throwing off platform, you're doing half the job. And hopefully the rest of the team can either finish off with a sack or intercept a badly thrown ball. But Charlie, we know what Vegas has the Dolphins score kind of being around what they think, how much Dolphins are going to win by. What is your score prediction for Dolphins against the Giants?
Dolphins are going to win 30-41. Dolphins I gotta bring it back down. Bring it back down to earth. 34. Dolphins are gonna win 34-10. 34-13.
I was going to go 37-13. Listen, the Dolphins genuinely will find a way to give up a touchdown to Daniel. I just have that feeling. But I can just imagine the first time the Dolphins get the ball, I'm predicting touchdown. Second time the Dolphins get the ball, I'm predicting touchdown. And I think it's one of those games where once the Dolphins got up 14, it's a wrap. Because A-Chan's going to be running hard. Hammer says 74-0 Fins for the win again and again. That would beat the break. That would definitely break the record. But I just think again, we said it earlier. You see the offensive line injuries that the Giants have. There's going to be guys that are like, yo, now's my time to shine. I can show that I should be starting when everyone's healthy. But the Dolphins' defensive line should be looking at this going, yo, we have this game in the bag. Obviously, be professional, all that kind of stuff. But, again, Bradley Chubb, dude, no matter who you're up against, it's not a starter. It's not a starter. And, yo, come up with a sack. Van Ginkel's playing well. Van Ginkel's doing his thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Jalen Phillips dresses but doesn't play much because they probably won't need him. But having him dress will be good, I guess. Please dress 20K Cam. Again, if there's a game where 20K Cam could see the field, this could be it. And my other question before we shoot off, unless you've got anything else, is with Teron Armstead on IR, missing the next 4 games, and a water spot opening up, could we see Alama Uluwave? Or is it a case of Connor Williams is a doubt, but might be trending towards playing? So calling him up might not be necessary if you're going to have 2 starters in Connor Williams. So 2 centers in Connor Williams and Liam Eichenberg.
First and foremost, I think the Dolphins get a defensive touchdown this game or a special teams touchdown. One or the other, I think we get a touchdown on special teams or defense. And the same way we want to see 20K Cam late in the game and get some reps, I think you should call up Alama Uluwave just because. So he can get some reps late in the game. And now you can see him in a regular season game. Not saying it'll be significant. I mean, you got Kayvon Thibodeau over there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think we should get the youngin some real regular season shine. You feel me? And see what he got.
Yeah, but first and foremost, in order to get, and again, this is just me still being professional, to get to that stage, the Dolphins have to have the job done, and again, be professional. Don't make it a close game. Don't give the Giants any hope. turn the lights of the Giants even thinking about winning as soon as possible, when you get yourself back on board. Before we shoot off, Jason says, again, guys, a bust in the sense that he was supposed to be the player they were actually comparing him to Jason Taylor, and he just hasn't even come close. I'll admit he deserves another year. What I will say in Jalen Phillips, and it's one of those things which
I don't know, Jason. I don't think you could be compared to Jason Taylor and then go 15th overall. Like if someone's comparing you to Jason Taylor, you need to go in the top 5.
But what I was going to say is that, do you remember the knock on Jalen Phillips coming out of college?
Concussions?
Yeah. The guy's like, he's had other knocks and stuff like that. But, maybe that's part of the reason why he fell to 15. But I do just think that it's one of those things where this is his 3rd year in the NFL, but learning a whole new defensive scheme, which isn't really blitz heavy. And it's been, 3 games under Fangio, and he's done okay so far this season. Okay, isn't good enough when you've taken 15th overall, but for the most part, I think people are relatively happy with how Phillips is developing. But I think everyone also agrees the pressures do need to turn to sacks. Like if he wants to be paid like a Watt or a Bosa, it needs to turn into sacks. And Jason says with that defense, they'll make the Giants offensive capable 28-24.
Man, bro, this thing is 28-24, bro. Like, I'm going to need counseling, bro. Like, this bet not be no 28-24 game where I'm watching it like, yo, this is too close.
Yeah. Like, even if we go 28 zip and then the 4th quarter they get 24, no. Like, no. Like, there's no, the Giants aren't getting past 20. If the Giants get past 17, I'll be disappointed. Listen, it's the NFL, any given Sunday, all that kind of stuff. It just shouldn't get to 24. It just shouldn't. But that's all I've got for this week. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe to YouTube channel, to Twitter, to Instagram, to TikTok, and join us on Patreon if you're feeling generous. We will have the Patreon easy money tips over on the tier 3 side of Patreon. So if you want to get involved with that, as James J did, then go to patreon.com/go time. Anything else from you, Charlie?
Long Ray, get well.
100%. We shall see you soon.